Hi everyone, my name is Rob Franek. I'm Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review. And those of you who have been faithfully watching our series, you'll know that we have published a lot of videos about the AP exam, specifically how you can prep and earn your superlative score. We even published a segment on finding your AP scoring rubric. But today we are going to talk about how do you take your AP exams? Literally, how do you do this on your device from home? Now, usually you'd have a proctor guiding you through this entire process, but for this year, folks, you are the proctor. So in addition to mastering the content on your test prep exam for the AP, you should also take some time. It can totally be less than 1 hour to do your proctor prep. Now, the College Board, the creators of all things AP, has created an interactive exam demo where you can practice logging in and submitting your answer. And you should definitely do this, my friend. Get used to the interface, understand it now, and waste 0 minutes on test day figuring out what to do. Now, we, of course, have included a link to that very demo right here in our video's description. Now, the College Board has also created an exam day checklist, which you should go through in advance to make sure that there are no surprises on test day. Secret. We also included that link in our video description here on YouTube as well. But folks, with all that said, we are convinced that the most important item on your checklist is going to be your exam time. Make sure that you know this. Exams start at the exact same time worldwide, so depending on your location, you could potentially have a very strange start time. But let's talk about the real information, the real nuts and bolts of taking your AP exams. On exam day, you'll need to log in 30 minutes prior to your test time. You'll need to enter your AP ID and your personal information. Now, on that demonstration, for those demonstration purposes, the information that you need to enter for that demo is pithy and less than what you'll find on the exam day itself. So let's take advantage of the College Board's clear advice and log in 30 minutes prior. Now, at this point, if we were in your shoes at the Princeton Review, we'd also open up the application we were planning to work in. So if you were going to type out your answers in Word, then have Word already open so that you're not waiting around for it to load. Every precious exam minute is just that precious. So the same logic also holds through if you're taking the test on paper. Get that paper ready, get it all set up, and be ready for the exam to start. Now, regardless of how you're planning on writing your exam, you'll need to put your AP ID and initials at the top of the page of your document. You'll also want any notes that you'll need for the test and for those notes to be handy. Now, we guided you on this point before. You should not need anything more than a formula sheet that you get for taking those tests in high school or possibly a calculator. But we totally understand that it can be ridiculously comforting to have some notes and books within arm's reach on that test date, and folks, that is perfectly fine. Now, as you're entering in your information, you'll see a timer counting down the minutes and seconds until that exam starts. Truth be told, you will see that timer for the entirety of the exam, letting you know how much time you have left to submit your work. It will appear in black until 5 minutes remaining, and then, as you guessed it, it's going to turn to red. Folks, if you find that timer distracting or stressful, you are allowed to hide it, but this is really, really important. You cannot be late. You won't get any points for work that you've completed but did not submit. So if you don't click submit, you don't get the points. So if you're not keeping track of time using the timer on screen, make sure that you keep track of the time in another reliable way. Folks, this is just so critically important on exam day. But there is some good news about timing. College Board initially said that for one question exams, you'd have 45 minutes for the exam and 5 minutes to submit. It turns out that you actually have 50 minutes total. So you can take a teensy bit longer to write as long as you submit within that 50-minute window. Now, friends, I would strongly advise against pushing the outer limit of that 50 minutes. If you don't submit, you won't get the credit. It is better to submit an incomplete answer than no answer at all. Now, for some 2-question exams, you'll have 30 minutes for the first question and 20 minutes for the second question, and that's total. So for 30 minutes, you get to write and then submit your answers for the first question, and then 20 minutes to write and submit for the second answer. You cannot borrow time from one question to give to another. So if you complete and submit that first question in a breezy 25 minutes, you'll see the timer counting down the remaining 5 minutes until your second question begins. So our advice specifically about timing: use the bulk of your time to create strong answers and not a split second more. And remember, you need to submit your work for it to count. Now, we should talk about the different ways that you can actually submit your exam. Remember that no matter how you submit your exam, you must be sure to include your AP ID and your initials at the top of each page. Friends, we are going to beat this point down because it is that super important. Even if you're copying and pasting your answer, you'll need to include that information once at the very top of that sheet. Now, you can attach one text file and you can attach up to 5 photos, or you can copy and paste your answers directly into the exam application. Once you've completed the question, you'll have 2 options: attach response and paste response. And if you choose paste, keep in mind that your formatting, bolded letters, spacing, and so forth, will appear as you pasted it from that original document. But here's the thing: you cannot type within the text field at all. So if you paste a response and then you realize you'd forgotten what I said about adding in your AP ID and your initials at the top, you'll have to go back to your original application, add in your AP ID and initials, and then return to the AP application. Click the clear field button and then repaste everything at that time. Now, at that point, folks, you're done. Just hit submit and presto, it is sent into the folks at the College Board. Now, if you're planning to submit photos of your work and you're planning to take those photos with your phone, keep in mind that you'll need to submit the photos on the device where you launched your AP exam. If you've logged into your computer, then you'll need to send the photos to your computer so that you can attach and submit them from there. Next, if you're taking a world language exam for AP, things are going to be a little bit different for you. You'll click a button to connect to the AP World Language Exam app. It's there that you will hear exam questions and record all of your responses. And if you're a student taking the AP Music Theory exam, you'll get to record your sight singing question and then take pictures of and upload your 4-part harmony question. Out of all of the AP exams in 2020, you will have the most multimedia experience. And folks, regardless of how you submit your exam, the message that we hope that you'll take away from this segment is that the more you can demystify the process of taking the exams, the more you'll be able to focus on what you know best, the AP content that you've been studying for all year. Folks, we believe this right down to our toes. You're going to be awesome at this. And as always, please do leave us a comment if you have any questions. Subscribe to our channel. Give us a ring. Check out our website. Again, folks, I'm Rob Franek, Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review, and I'll be back with you again tomorrow. Take care.